So out of all 7 tracks on chapter 1, which song would you say was the hardest to write and why?
I mean, Talk of This Town, you know, obviously is about a small town and a relationship, but I mean, goes without saying, we've always wanted our music and our personal lives and everything to be about the music and separated. And I think, you know, after changing, our name to Lady A and to feel that how something got so twisted in our intentions and it was such a hard thing. It was like writing that. I remember like, I'm so sick of, I never wanted to be in a conversation like this. And you felt like you couldn't defend yourself or tell your side of the story. And I think that was the hardest thing is like, just like with anything, just feeling like your intentions are misunderstood. And that song, you know, again, it was, how do you make that song not about our situation, but relatable? But when I listen to that song, it's like, I'm so sick of it being a topic of conversation and not about the music. And it feels like, you know, I think that was a very personal, in a very kind of roundabout way, song and kind of tough to write. I'm sure I wasn't there. I think I was on, like an idiot, was like on a golf trip or something for Worship What I Hate. But when I listen to Worship What I Hate, I'm so glad I wasn't there, because I don't know if I would have been able to write that song as well as y'all did. I probably would have been like, that's a silly title. We can't write that. And that song, when I listened to it, is that must have been pretty heavy to write.
It was.
For sure.
It was. And also, like, again, just you say it and then it's like you've learned something new. You can't unknow it now. So, like, what are you going to do with it? And that was that song for me. I mean, in the second verse of that song, it's like, I'm not guilty of leaving, not sticking around. I'm guilty of staying and just checking out. And I think when you know, whether it's in a relationship or work, or you're just trying to figure out how to cope with things looking different, feeling like the world has been flipped upside down, it's just, but realizing, like, even though that's what it feels like, I still have to show up for my husband, and I still need to show up and want to show up for my children. And so that one is definitely the hardest one that was the hardest one to write, record, talk about. I mean, it's very much a very, very personal message.
You always have one of those on every record, whether it's Ocean and Hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Hurt.
We always have to have one song that makes Hillary cry in the studio.
So I would love to talk more about your tour. So what influenced you guys to ask Nico Moon, Tennille Arts, and Carly Pearce to join you guys on tour? I know you kind of touched upon Carly Pearce, but I want to hear a little bit more about that.
They're all just beautiful. We just wanted to, we figured like we bring young, beautiful people, it'll make us feel young again. No, they're just super talented. Carly, we literally respect her and her music. I just think it's very similar, I would say, artists, you know, that I think we definitely, you know, Lady A and Carly kind of lean more towards, you know, I would say some of the heartfelt songs and the tearjerkers a little bit more. And so we just feel like, you know, I think our fans are going to love her and vice versa. And then, I mean, Nico Moon and Tennille both are coming off of just number ones, and they just feel, Dave, I know specifically, has been diving pretty headfirst into Tennille's record, and he was a big fan.
Yeah, I mean, I immediately texted them. I was like, this record's blowing me away. I mean, I love the sounds of it. Stuff, I guess it was Alex Klein she worked with on that as well. But anyways, yeah, I love that record so much. And then, I mean, gosh, my son who's 6, I mean, no sad songs and good time. I mean, Nico's going to kill it in these amphitheaters.
He's a good live performer.
It's going to be I can't wait to see it. Another Georgia boy out there with us too, and so I think those songs will translate really well in amphitheaters because they sound good in the car. We crank them up with the kids, so we love to pick our favorites for sure.